Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at the Aeldari. This video is sponsored by Adept Roll and the Game Bunker. More on those later. With a brand new range refresh for the Aeldari and a bunch of brand new plastic models replacing the old out-of-date sculpts, there's definitely been a uptick in the amount of people that are interested in Aeldari. Not only the models and the army itself in game terms, but also the lore. So let's take a look at some of the classics. Explore the enigmatic Aeldari with these Black Library classics. The Aeldari are an ancient and inscrutable race. Their traditions are a mystery of the younger civilizations, whom they hold in open contempt. Their survival in the wake of the fall is tenuous. They have split off into disparate factions, each settling in their own way of life. With the new Phoenix Lords and Aspect Warriors available for pre-order alongside Codex Aeldari, now is the time to walk the path of the reader and attune yourself to their unique mindset. So the Aeldari definitely have like an awesome backstory and lore in the Games Workshop Warhammer 40k universe. They are essentially an ancient race of elves that were once powerful but fell to chaos and suffered a massive divide, and there's a bunch of really cool like backstory and history about the Aeldari. So let's take a look at some of those Black Library novels for those people interested in a little bit more of the backstory and lore. So first we have Path of the Eldar by Gav Thorpe. The many paths that the Aeldari walk at varying parts of their lives, from warrior to seer or even outcast, are a defining part of their existence. Not mere phases of their life, they are dedications that must be committed to. Ever the expert on all things Eldari, Gav Thorpe covers them extensively in the anthology, Path of the Eldar, which contains 3 novels and 3 short stories that intimately cover their malefacted lives. And I do love seeing the awesome artwork and then also the new sculpts and just how well Games Workshop has captured the look and style of some of these models with the new sculpts relative to some of the classic artwork that we've seen. And while I do like the old looking style of the models, I gotta say that Games Workshop has absolutely crushed it with the new sculpts. Jane's are now a few years old, absolutely stunning, especially relative to like the old model and the artwork. And then obviously now we have the new Asherman model as well. Again, just absolutely phenomenal, especially when you compare it to the dated sculpt of past. The Phoenix Lords are the legendary warriors who founded the Aspect Shrines, where Eldari are trained in body and mind and spirit to emulate one of the styles of combat embodied by the long-dead god of war, Kala Cain. Asherman was the first of the Phoenix Lords, and he remains one of their most powerful. In Gav Thorpe's Asherman, Hand of Assyrian, you can read about the past and this current battle to prevent the destruction of the craft world at the hands of chaos. Gav also tackles the progenitor of the Howling Banshees in Jane's the Storm of Silence, who has journeyed to the craft world Althway in order to warn of the threat posed by the burgeoning Orc Empire. She finds herself opposed by one of the most gifted Eldari psychers, Eldred Ulthrin, who is yet to decide on which of the many paths he has foreseen will best serve his home. So very cool, again just awesome backstory with the Eldari, between them combating all of the various races to keep like balance in the universe, the fall to chaos, their ancient knowledge and ability to foresee the future. Definitely some awesome aspects that I'm sure are very well captured in these novels. Adept Roll is a new MathHammer app for Warhammer 40,000, allowing users to instantly and effortlessly upload unit characteristics from screenshots. You can then use the app to calculate statistical outcomes. With the capability to account for special rules and abilities of attackers and defenders, results can be viewed in graph or tabular form. Let Adept Roll do the MathHammer while you focus on tactics and victory. With tons of features and customizable settings, Adept Roll is the best pocket companion to give you the edge over the competition. Check out the Adept Roll app using the link in the video description, and your first 7 days are free. Now back to the video. And next we have Valador by Guy Haley. Ravaged by the High Fleet Kraken, the craftworld Iyanden remains ever wary. Ravaged by the High Fleet Kraken, the craftworld Iyanden remains ever wary of all devouring aliens under the charge of Prince Uriel. As part of the plan to save themselves, they flung a portion of the High Fleet into the warp. But somehow it's back, and Uriel fears that it may have combined with the tendrils of High Fleet Leviathan, creating something more terrible than either. Guy Haley's Valador has Craftworld Iyanden team up with Craftworld Biltan and even the Raiders of Camaro, all to save the Maiden World from the hungering Tyranids. A little Falchu tells us that a new audiobook release of this classic novel is also in the works. So again, very cool story, definitely nice little backstory on Prince Uriel. Unfortunately, he was squatted from the Eldar range, so while he has always been like sort of a pivotal character in the lore and kind of the poster child of Iyanden, he is no longer available in model form. And next we have the Rise of the Ynnari, Ghost Warrior and Wild Rider. Again, absolutely stunning art on the cover of these books, and a beautiful showcase of some awesome models in the Visarch and Yvrain. Not content with the mapping out of all existing avenues of Eldari culture at the time, Gav also spearheaded the introduction of the Ynnari, a new grouping who worship Ynid, the Eldari god of the dead. They believe that resurrecting the Whispering Dead can avert the civilization's inevitable calamity and help them to beat Slaanesh once and for all. In the Rise of the Ynnari duology, Ghost Warrior and Wild Rider, you can follow Yvrain as she executes her mysterious mission, which leads her to chase down a missing crone sword and to meet the Wild Lord Nuadhu Fireheart of Samhan. So definitely a nice little spin-off of your classic Aeldari lore and style. The Ynnari is sort of a blend of like your typical Aeldari and then also a little bit of Drukhari mixed in there. And then rather than leaning in on the bloody-handed god, they are worshipping Ynid, the god of the dead. And then also some awesome backstory and lore in the Eldar like falling to chaos and Slaanesh taking their souls once they die. And the creation of the spirit zones essentially trapping the Eldar souls so that Slaanesh cannot get a hold of them. And then obviously we see those spirit zones all over like the various bits of armor and model range. Very, very cool lore. Now a quick word from today's sponsor, GameBunker. GameBunker carries a full range of Games Workshop products including miniatures, terrain, paint tools, and more. GameBunker offers 15% off MSRP for most Games Workshop products with the discount code WHMS. Receive free shipping in the continental United States on orders over $145. Online orders ship out within 24 hours. GameBunker is a veteran-owned business. Use affiliate link below, enter discount code WHMS to save 15% on most items at checkout. For fast, friendly service with a discount on your favorite tabletop wargaming purchases, visit GameBunker.net and let them know that Warhammer Man sent you. And then finally, we got a little bit of Harlequin love. So first we have Faces, then the Victim's Dance, and then also the Mask of Vile. The deadly players, known as the Harlequins, are a real head-scratcher even to the Aeldari themselves, but can't be left out of the roundup. Dedicated to playing out the Eldar fall of the civilization in an endless performance on the battlefield across the galaxy, they are also custodians of the Black Library, which resides in the Webway. Faces by Matthew Ferrer, The Victim's Dance by Ben Contour, and The Mask of Vile by Andy Chambers explore the capricious members of the Capering Company in further detail. You'll be well on your way to becoming an expert of all things Aeldari after reading all these, and all the better equipped to understand the nuances of their approach to battle. Handy, given they got 8 new detachments to master, including ways to the Ynnari and Harlequins, including ways to use Ynnari and Harlequins. So the Harlequins, definitely a very cool aspect of Aeldari, and for a while they really didn't have a way to like functionally run the army. Now with their own detachment, you can definitely lean in on the actual Harlequins themselves. You also have the Grotmis detachment, which pairs up the Harlequins with the Drukhari, with some really cool ways to essentially run your armies in 40k on the table, which matches up with the various ways that they enact in the lore. I've always been a massive fan of the Harlequins. The models are amazing. The paint jobs are phenomenal. Here we see some really cool art and 3 different books that, if you're interested in the Harlequins, are definitely a must read. So I personally am very excited about the range refresh and all the new stuff coming for the Aeldari. One of my favorite all-time armies. I absolutely love the backstory, the lore, the art, the models. And for a lot of people that are relatively new to Warhammer 40k or just getting interested in the Aeldari, I think it's great of Games Workshop to bring back a bunch of these old classics. They haven't specifically said if these are going to be coming back in like hardback or softcover, or if they're just going to be coming back in digital form, but definitely excited to hear some news about them in the future. So let me know if you're new to Aeldari or if you've been playing for a while, if you've read any of these particular books, or there's any particular books that you'd like to recommend for people interested in the Aeldari. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. And thanks to Adept Roll for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description for a 7 days free trial with the app. And a special thanks to the Game Bunker for sponsoring the channel. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on most Games Workshop products with code WHMS at checkout. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I am definitely super excited for the new Aeldari models and the opportunity to pick up some of these long lost books. And I'm out of here.